Jeff Bama channel. Subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you.
Yes, welcome again. Now, as you understand, Kcse examination English has got papers. And we have paper 1, which has this code 101 or 101 stroke 1. I will look at this paper briefly so that the candidates will be able to understand what the paper contains. To begin with, as I have listed here, the first question is functional writing, which will give a candidate 20 marks. On the other hand, the second question is a closed test, which will give the candidate 10 marks. And we have the third question, which is about oral skills. The oral skills in total will give a candidate 30 marks. Now, the total number of marks that paper 1 has is 60 marks. The 60 marks will be added in the total papers when they are done, all of them. It is part of the entire English exam. Now, we have to understand what functional writing is. When we look at functional writing, this one has several topics that candidates must understand. First, we have to note that it entails items or compositions written for a specific purpose. Items or compositions written for a specific purpose. For example, letters, like the formal letters and informal letters, notes of condolences. We have letters of inquiries. We have internal memo. We have recipes, among other forms of writing that are in that line. Now, without wasting time, I want to look at the second part of this paper, which is question 2. And question 2, as stated here, is oral skills. Now, what does the oral skills contain? First, we have to understand that oral skills test on how to choose best vocabularies. So the oral skills will test a candidate on how to choose what we call best vocabularies. In addition, oral skills will test on knowledge of categorizing words and their functions in sentences. That a candidate is tested on how to categorize words and their functions in sentences. As we continue, we'll be able to understand more about this section as the second section of this paper that tests majorly on vocabulary. So I will go straight to the third part before we do a recap of this and also talk into details about these sections. The third one is oral skills. So as you understand, the oral skills test several areas. First, we need to understand, or the candidate needs to understand that oral skills test language mannerisms skills. What we call language mannerism skill. Language mannerisms skills. The way a a candidate should use a language in communication purposes or in daily conversations. Etiquette is included in this. The manner in which you use language is tested here. In addition, uh, how to behave politely is also tested here. How to behave politely or in a polite manner. And we also have what we call creative and effective way when using the English language. That you need to be creative when you are using English language as a learner or as a candidate. You need to be creative. So these ones are tested. So that is etiquette. We have spellings. We also have pronunciation. We have listening and speaking, as well as dramatization. Dramatization is also tested under the third section of paper 1, which is oral skills. I will go straight to another area that we have to look at this time. That we have some topics that we call the functional writing topics. Functional writing topics. We have those topics. And I want us to go straight to those topics so that the candidates will be able to prepare themselves when they understand what is expected of them. These topics of functional writing are divided into some categories. Like the first one that I will be able to look at. The first one is this one. The topics that I will be able to look at, the first one is this. We have social writing. I will categorize into these categories. Now the first one under the functional writing topics. The first one here is social writing. Social writing. I need the candidates to be keen in this area. That under social writing, we have the following. We have what we call informal letters. Informal letters. Secondly, we have what we call invitations. Thirdly, we have what we call emails. Emails. We have another area that is fax, writing of fax and sending of fax. We have telegrams. Telegrams. Another one is notes of condolences. We have notes of condolences and congratulatory notes, as well as thank you notes. All those are tested under this social writing. Lastly, we have institutions or what we call, before we go to another type, under this category of social writing, we have instructions to family and friends. When you are writing an instruction to a family member or a friend, that is another subtopic that is tested under social writing. So I will move to the second part, which is after social writing. Another one is what we call personal writing. Personal writing. Yes, I also urge my candidates to be keen in this area. That under personal writing, we have the following topics. The first topic that you must expect is addresses. Writing of addresses. We have parking lists, still under personal writing. We have shopping lists, shopping lists. We also have reminders. We have another one we call recipe. A recipe is under this. We also have another one that we call personal journals. And lastly, under this, we have diaries. Writing of diaries is under this section that we call personal writing. The third one is this, that we have study writing. What we call study writing. Study writing is another category. What does it entail, study writing? That it has the following. One, we have questionnaires. Two, we have report. Three, we have survey writing. What we call survey writing. In addition, we have newspaper. Newspaper is part of this. We also have book reviews. And lastly, under this section of study writing, we have synopsis, writing of synopsis. Another section is what we call institutional writing. Institutional writing. What does this one contain? Institutional writing. What does it contain? I also urge my candidates to be keen so that they can get the topics under institutional writing. The first one is minute writing, what we call minute writing or minutes of a meeting. The second one, we have speeches, writing of speech or speeches writing. We also have curriculum vitae or CV is part of this. In addition, we have business letters or what we call official or informal letters. All those are under this category. We also have advertisements. We also have what we call inventory. Inventory is part of this. We also have what we call posters. Posters is also part of this. We also have notification of a meeting. That is when you are sending a notice inviting members for a meeting. That is part of this. We also have memorandum or memo. Lastly, under this category of institutional writing, we have what we call public notices. All forms of public notices, they fall under this category of institutional writing. Last category that we have to look at is public writing, what we call public writing. Yes, what do we have under public writing? The following is what the candidates must take note of. That we have letters of application under this category. Secondly, we have telephone messages under this category. Thirdly, we have letters of inquiry. Another one is letters of apology. That is what we have under this again. Another one is letters of request. When you are sending a request. Another one is what we call filling of forms. When you are filling forms. Yeah, I understand that this paper is the first one to be done in Kcse. So I want to encourage my candidates that you should take your time to understand the questions in this paper, because the paper is very easy to whoever that follows instructions. Thank you for your time.